Night of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine. Book summary in under 4 minutes. R.L. Stine's Night of the Living Dummy turns an ordinary sibling rivalry into a creepy story about jealousy, attention, and the fear that something harmless may have a mind of its own. The novel centers on twin sisters Lindy and Chris, whose competitive relationship becomes strained after Lindy discovers a ventriloquist dummy named Slappy and quickly becomes skilled at using it. The dummy gives Lindy a new source of attention, leaving Chris feeling overshadowed and eager to prove she can perform just as well. Chris eventually receives a dummy, Mr. Wood, and what begins as a childish contest takes on a supernatural edge. Strange incidents occur around the house, and the sisters begin wondering whether the behavior is a prank, a misunderstanding, or evidence that one of the puppets is acting independently. Stine builds tension through that uncertainty. The horror does not initially come from monsters, but from the possibility that an object could move, speak, or cause trouble when no one is controlling it. The sisters' rivalry makes the mystery harder to solve. Because they have been competing for attention, their accusations sound like extensions of an argument rather than warnings about something real. Adults are skeptical, leaving the children trapped between what they believe they have seen and what others think is reasonable. This creates one of the story's strongest ideas. When trust has already been damaged, even the truth can sound like another excuse. As the incidents escalate, the dummy becomes more than a performance prop. It represents the loss of control at the center of the story. Ventriloquism normally depends on a performer creating the illusion that a puppet has its own personality. Stine reverses that idea by asking what happens when the illusion may no longer be an illusion. The performer who should control the dummy becomes frightened by the possibility that the dummy is controlling the situation instead. The novel also uses childhood jealousy to make the supernatural events more believable within the family. Lindy enjoys being praised for her talent, while Chris wants the same recognition. Their competition encourages teasing, suspicion, and attempts to outdo one another. Once genuinely unsettling events begin, neither sister can easily separate sibling behavior from something impossible. That confusion becomes as important to the suspense as the puppet itself. By the climax, the sisters are forced to take the supernatural possibility seriously and work together rather than continue their rivalry. The apparent resolution brings relief, but Stine does not allow that comfort to last. The final twist suggests that the danger may not have been limited to the puppet everyone feared most. That reversal turns what looked like a solved mystery into the beginning of a larger nightmare and delivers the abrupt, unsettling ending associated with Goosebumps. At its core, Night of the Living Dummy is less about a wooden puppet than about control, credibility, and competition. The story asks how quickly jealousy can make people doubt one another, and how frightening it is when something familiar stops following the rules we expect. Its appeal comes from combining a simple childhood fear, an eerie toy in a dark room, with a relatable family conflict. The result is a playful horror story that turns sibling rivalry into supernatural suspense and leaves one final question. What if the object everyone assumed was harmless was only pretending to be?